Hey everybody, thanks for joining me here. Just a really quick video, just because I've been talking a lot recently about men's mental health, and of course in November, certainly in Ireland and in other countries, it's Movember, the month that we celebrate men's mental health and also fight for it. And we kind of have to. We have to fight the tide of suicide, particularly high in men, and it's a men's and women's responsibility and an issue. It's not something that kind of like this video is only for men or something like that. It's for all our sakes. We have to look after each other, don't we? And we need to fight for men's mental health and really get it on the agenda. One of the things today I want to kind of like make a couple of videos, but one of them today that I want to talk about is social fitness, because it's a real thing to help us in our mental health. And we do know from some very, very big studies that I talk about elsewhere that social connection keeps us alive. We talk about social fitness. It keeps us alive. It allows us to live longer, meaningful social connection, not the stuff online, but the actual meaningful social connection where we feel like people have got our backs, that we can speak to them, that we know them, they know us well, that we kind of feel comfortable and authentic and we can just chat away with them. But what tends to happen is that a lot of those connections that we have, we either move away, or we move to a different city, a different country, or just because of the busyness of life, a lot of the friendships and the connections that we make, they kind of wither away. And we really need to look at our social life in terms of our social connections like a plant that needs watering and care and looking after. It needs conscious attention. And it's so easy to just let time go by, and then it becomes more and more kind of awkward or a bit cringy to try and reach out. So what I'd suggest is that you do kind of look, maybe even write down all of the people, just shove it all on a piece of paper, on your phone, whatever it might be, just all of the people that you kind of used to know, were in contact with, put it all on a list. And some of them you might be very close to still, and others you may have really lost contact with. But think about the people that you just lost contact with, not intentionally, but just because of busyness or geography or whatever it was. And start to try and rebuild connections. And this works both ways. So it's always kind of reaching out to people you feel might be too shy to reach out to you, but be proactive in it. Even if you feel comfortable in your own social fitness and your own connections, reach out to more people, reach out a little bit more. Nobody is going to be offended by it. And even if it feels cringy to pick up the phone, try sending them a meme, sending them some of this funny photo, whatever it might be, an article of something that you read and thought you might be interested in this, or saw this and thought of you, something funny, whatever it might be, just so that little by little, and you might even only get an emoji back, whatever, or a one-liner, or great to hear from you. Just nurture those connections. We know that social connection keeps us alive, is very connected to our longevity and our health and well-being and mental health. But we don't, with all the kind of gurus in diet and fitness and this, that, and the other, we're not really taught about the importance of looking after our social connections. So that is something I would just really, really suggest you do. I know that definitely men speak to each other in different ways. Also think about the fact that, do you kind of hang out in a group? Maybe you don't hang out at all. There is no evidence, by the way, to support the idea that kind of women need a gaggle of women kind of thing to hang out with, or that's what we do, and that men are kind of more solitary and don't need social connection. They do. This is all a kind of a media idea that we're spun all the time. So watching that, looking after your social connections. As I say, we know that men speak to men in different ways than women speak to women, and that's kind of maybe a topic for another video. But just to begin, by considering the idea of reaching out to somebody that you kind of lost contact with, and just begin to spend November and onwards, maybe make it a policy for even once a week to reach out to somebody that you're not much in contact with or have lost complete contact with, and keep it going, keep nurturing those connections. Together we can fight the tide of suicide. Take care. Bye.